The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappola and Mike Lamazzo.
Mikey boy.
Yes, sir.
Mike, it's been a couple of weeks, man.
I know.
The week before last, we did a repeat show.
Yep.
And last week, we did a repeat show, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
We did the...
one in between. We did a live.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Hey, you went to the Nationals, huh?
Yeah, it was great. It was exhausting. It was exhausting for both of us. Enrico, too, and Elsie. And it was just... But it was...
It's not all fun and games. People would think it is.
We didn't have a minute to ourselves.
Jeez, really?
We literally didn't have a minute to ourselves. From the moment we stepped on the floor until the moment we left, between the show, book signings. We did book signings at two different exhibits.
Oh.
And then Rico, this is real quickly. Rico, they paid Rico to do autographs, with all the other athletes. Ortiz, they're all there. All of them are there, right? Oh. Rico... Because of the show, Rico was the last guy to leave. When everybody was going, there was still 100 people in line to get his autograph. Wow. It's God be my judge.
Even now, huh? How many years has he been out of baseball, approximately?
Since 1976.
But everybody loves
him. They love him.
That is, well,
absolutely
what's there
love
not to love?
Well, you know what it is, though? I mean, the show has had a lot. He's become kind of like the face of the hobby in the collectibles world.
Yeah.
We were shocked. Because I said, Rico, at 5 o'clock, you got to be done because we have reservations at 6:45 at the Palm.
What did the bill come out to? That's what we want to know.
You're not going to believe it. Cheap. 1,100.
How many people?
6.
It's not bad.
That's not, no.
No, the night before.
Where was this?
Doherty's at the Resorts International. Just as good as the Palm, right?
Okay.
Prices were just the same. You know how much it cost me? With the tip, $300. Because
you fed everybody before you went?
No.
You brought sandwiches?
Remember I told you Nate and Barbara Kopp, our friends, we met them for dinner?
Yeah.
Okay. Nate, he's a retired VP from Greyhound. So I asked for the bill. The guy gives me the bill with the tip, $300. I says, what are you talking about? He says, well, Mr. Kopp, we owe him a few favors because for years he's sending his clients to stay at the resorts here. So we wanted to take care of them. So it cost me $300.
See, I had the same. I know we're digressing here, but I had the exact same thing happen at the Encore with Tommy Yamin from the Butcher Boy. It was my turn to buy.
Oh, you told me that.
I took him, and I'm all set. I said to the waiter, "Can I have my bill, please?" He says, "You're all set."
Wow.
All set.
Tommy has these comps.
His host came up, went to our waiter, says, "I'm adding $300." And the bill comes to $296. I threw the tip in like a hero.
Hey,
I'm in business.
All right, listen, the name of the show is Sicilian Corner. We are thrilled. Welcome.
you.
Obviously, we're on Facebook Live, YouTube, WCAP 980, Pandora, Alexa, ABC, CBS, the Porn Channel. We're on everything. But
the Porn Channel?
You didn't know that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Is your show on there? I'll start watching it.
Ellen
if it
watches
is.
it. She
if
watches
it's on, your show's on there, I'll watch it.
Hey, listen, we are thrilled. Over the last couple of weeks, Wayne Peters was in here. We did a repeat show. And I want to introduce Ronnie Vallante and Karen Pittera, two friends that I've known since, I was in love with her in second grade. So, that tells you something.
Understandable.
Ronnie I never liked, but he's a friend now.
You're growing on me. You're like a what?
But anyway, we all grew up.
What?
We all grew up in the same neighborhood, what I've always referred to as the Little Italy of our city, Lawrence, about a 6 or 7 square block area of the neighborhood. Growing up, all Italians. There was a few token, half Irish or whatever, but mostly Italians, a lot of Sicilians. And I wanted to ask Ronnie and both Karen, their perspective and take on growing up in what we call Little Italy, especially from the female perspective, because we always have guys talking about it, Karen. But, you grew up one street over from me, one street over from Ronnie. And then Mike, of course, being the outcast, grew up in South Lawrence with the Germans, the Polish, the Irish. How many Italians in your thing there?
On the whole street that I lived on, there were 2 names that ended in a vowel.
Why did you live there?
Why don't you ask Sam and Sarah? I don't know.
Exactly.
So
What are you asking me for?
Why didn't you, when you got older, you knew what we were doing? Why didn't you bitch to him and say, Dad, let's move?
You know something? Your environment becomes you, and I loved it. Once they built the veterans housing projects across the street from us, close to the stadium, all of a sudden, there's 500 and some odd families moving in.
Right.
You know how many of them ended in a vowel? Are you kidding me?
So it was a melting pot of everything.
What a place to go trick-or-treating. No stairs, up 2 little steps, a little platform, trick-or-treat. You could fill up at the Mulder's back 15 minutes. Beep.
Now, Karen, let's talk. Ronnie, jump in, both of you.
Yeah,
you know,
don't be
you
shy.
grew up.
Don't be
You grew up
shy.
on Newbury. Where'd you grow up? What street?
On top of my dad's store on Newbury
On Newbury Street.
across from St. Lawrence's School.
Right.
Which was what?
Town and Country.
The other-
Town and Country. Yeah. Busty. I
Busty.
mean, Busty
Yep.
Pittera.
And we moved. He built a house in West Methuen when I was 10, and he had to drag me kicking and screaming. But I still stayed at Holy Rosary because he would bring me in the morning. I'd walk to my Nana's house, which was right next door. of course.
Where was her house?
The brick building right next door to the shop.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Didn't Joe Vanille live there?
No.
Joe
Vanille,
Vanille
he
used
lived
to-
over...
Mechanic?
no, he lived on top of the New Broad Tavern.
Okay.
Isn't he the one that worked for my dad?
Yeah, he worked
Everybody
for you.
worked for my
He
dad.
worked for your
yeah.
father.
Right.
Ronnie, now, where did you grow up?
Mostly on Union Street.
Okay.
Down the city
Down the
steps,
city
right
stairs.
there,
Used to
20
be the
feet
city
from me.
stairs, Yeah.
Now, there's a rumor circulating that you guys are related. Is there any truth to that? I mean, because she tells me I don't want anybody to know.
Well, people say that. Even my brother says that. I don't get it, man.
Listen, we're cousins, not first cousins, but you know, Italians are.
Right.
Kidding?
His
Everybody's a cousin.
grandmother, my Asafia, and my grandmother were sisters. We grew up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I'm not going to take over the show, but so many funny stories.
Oh, I'm sure.
With
Oh,
him.
first of all, with Tommy here, don't worry about it.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have a shot now.
We did everything together, not just him, but I was.
Your group, your gang.
Well, they were all boys. I was the only girl. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one day we went down the city steps and we were at his Nana's house. My father is speaking in Sicilian to Asafia, and they thought that we didn't understand. Well, we did understand.
Yes.
And we were 8 years old. My father's saying, something's going on. Right?
Well, what happened was I think I asked her to go to, because like she was always attractive, but
I was 8.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what it was.
He
I was
didn't
just,
know.
Oh, but
we
when
were
you were in
cousins.
8th grade, you were hot.
I was
8 years old.
I know then.
I started young, I guess. I don't know. And I asked her to go to the movies, Central Theater.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if I kissed her or not, okay? So
God.
we'll get that off the table. So the
Too
next
much
day,
information.
I wake up, and there's Busty at the door, right, for her. And my grandmother was there, and Busty, da nafia, gisto cose, mangi è buono. Mangi è buono, cose buono. No, because it wasn't right, because we're related, we're going to...
But my father loved him.
Yeah, so,
Oh, Busty was a great. Everybody
I
loved your
loved
father.
his mother.
But, yeah, it was...
Yeah.
That's
the way it
That's
was.
what we all did.
You know, I want to ask you guys. You know, I grew up right around the corner,
around the corner.
corner of Haverhill and East Haverhill.
That's right.
And you know, we've talked about this a lot. Isn't it amazing how in that from Common Street to I don't know Oak Street, Elm Street, up in that area, down by Union,
Vine- all over the Vine Street.
all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how everything was right at our fingertips?
Could walk
I mean, was
anywhere.
there anything that we did not have?
Well, you got to remember, I mean, a 50 by 60 foot area had 6 families living in it,
Absolutely.
and 2 businesses beneath it.
Yes.
Right.
So, I mean, you didn't have to. You want to do a spizza,
Right there.
You'd go to chicken store.
I mean,
you'd go here, you'd go there.
My father, I mean, when we were kids, there was, I don't even know, the Dumulas, I'm sure, existed.
Yeah.
No.
But
Not until we were in high school.
Is that what it was?
I
So
think.
where would they go? They go to Schofilo's or Catalano's.
There you
And my
go.
father used to spread the wealth because they were both dear friends.
Right.
So one week he'd go to Catalano's, 1 week he'd go to Schofilo's to do his shopping, right?
Right. There's
they-
no
you know-
question. I was good friends with Sarah Catalano.
sure.
Did you ever go to the chicken store? My nana brought me to the chicken store.
You know who? The
And
one
you- right on Newbury Street, and you had a.
Don't you know who owned that?
Steve
Who?
Zappala.
Steve Zappala's father.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because I cried every time because you had to watch them.
Oh,
The
yeah.
neck. Oh, yeah.
And then he'd
Strip
hang him.
upside down.
Then they'd hang upside down.
Steve,
That's why he became a doctor.
Dr. Steve in his office still has the feather plucker.
Oh my God!
No way.
And you use this sometimes, the people. That's why I don't go to them anymore.
And then
Who keeps a feather
Catalano's-
plucker in there?
Are you kidding?
I swear to God.
At Catalano's, they had the butcher block where they would do the.
Yeah.
And like an idiot, I didn't know. I would just take little pieces of the raw hamburger because I loved
And
it.
eat it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There's nothing wrong with
If
it.
No,
you did that now,
You do it too?
Yeah. Growing up, I would
they
always
went crazy that I did that because they said, it was bad.
I have a question. What is a feather plucker? I grew up farming, and that was called my hands. So,
So then I guess it must
what
be
is
his.
a feather plucker?
A feather?
Yeah, I was like, his hands are on the wall.
You got to be very careful
Tweezers.
when you say that.
No, you would put the chicken with the feathers in it. This thing would pull the
Pull the
feathers.
feathers right off of it.
I'm just now
He used-
picturing some weird tortured
No.
device.
No, this is after the thing was dead and didn't even have a head.
He had the head cut off.
Right.
He'd run him through the feather plucker, and
I would just pluck the feathers.
that's that too.
It's like destemming grapes.
Right. So we had our grocery
Moving on.
stores. We had
Candy stores.
within candy stores, like within how many?
Oh, my God.
Bosso's, Carubas. You could go to Calderon's Pharmacy.
Pete's Candy Store.
Pete's.
Natto's.
The one across the street, the scary lady, what was
Yeah.
her name?
The scary
Carubas.
lady.
No.
No.
What was her name?
I don't know her name. But she across the
Bajagalup,
street,
I don't know.
She was a Polish woman.
Oh, she was nasty.
Polish, yeah.
She looked like the Wicked
Yeah.
Witch, really, with the
Yeah.
black.
You know what?
I don't
She's
remember
not
not here anymore.
yeah.
Oh, wait a
She's not
second.
here anymore.
We were
Leave her
afraid.
alone.
You know who
We
the-
were afraid. I had to go
Wait a
to
minute,
my
where was that
father.
store?
Right across the street.
Right across the street. You know what a parking lot is? You know what Vinny?
Piemonte.
and Sandy-
Was she short?
Piemonte?
Oh no, she
Short
was-
woman, big black
I
hair.
don't, big black hair, big
You know
hat.
who you know who I think that was?
Who?
You remember Blaney?
Yeah.
I think that was his mother.
Really?
Well, one time
know,
she
man.
scared the crap out of us, and I went over. I said, "Daddy, I'm afraid of her too." True story.
But so we had candy stores,
Yeah.
shoe stores. We
Yeah.
had Gialongos,
Right.
We had Jackson,
Constantino's.
Constantino's.
Yeah.
The one thing that was dear to this young lady's heart was what was his name? Mark Fioli's record store, the tune store.
Oh,
where
yeah.
you could buy records.
That was
Oh, Toontown. You're talking
Toontown.
Toontown.
On
Mario,
Essex
Mario,
Mario Fioli.
Mario Fioli.
on Essex Street, right?
Toontown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him. You know who owned that with him? Morris Holland, the owner of Candy Blake.
I know. I went to
Where?
school with
No
Pat.
kidding.
Yeah, they were they co-owners. Those are the guys that signed us to the contract, the four of us,
When you guys performed.
every Friday night at Central Catholic.
Would you? So who's the owner?
Mario Fioli.
To where?
Remember Toontown?
Yeah.
He and
was
Morris Holland, who was the owner of Candy Blake.
Canterbury Lake. What are you changing now to me?
Cannibal Lake.
Cannibal Lake.
still
All right,
alive?
you don't have to be
Been
big
dead
No, he
20
lives in
years.
Merrimack.
Yeah.
You know.
shot. Now he's changing.
I'll tell you a story
Cannibal Lake.
later.
It's
I'm
Cannibal
sorry.
Lake.
All right, so we had music studios, we had record stores, we had grocery stores, we had shoe stores. How many pharmacies?
Well, we had
You had
Calderon's
Leone's,
right there.
Calderon's.
Calderon's,
And the
Roma,
one- yeah.
Roma.
We had
Family
Brinkle
Pharmacy.
Florist.
And Calderon's, we used to go in, have a vanilla Coke, sit there and have a vanilla Coke.
Family
Cal.
Pharmacy.
Family Pharmacy.
Right.
Ned Leone at Leone's. I told you that story.
Yeah.
I'm 16 years old. And I walk in to Leone's Pharmacy. So I'm ready. I'm ready to
sprout
do,
my wings.
To sprout my wings. So Leone sees me
I'm
coming
afraid.
in. He's behind the counter. He's like this with my father. Mr. Zappala, how are you? Good, Mr. Leone. I'd like a package of Trojans, please. What size?
And you yelled, extra large.
I turned around and walked out. I was so embarrassed.
It should have been. Your father found
Oh, he
out
would have
about
killed
it.
me. He would have killed me. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he found out.
Ned Leone was beautiful. I got to tell this story. I did some work at his house. So he says, well, what do you think it's going to be? I said, I don't know, Ned, between like 50 and 100, right? So after I figured it all out, it was $90. He says, how much is it? I said, it's $90. Here's 75, he says. He says, between 50 and 100 is 75. This is what you're getting. What am I going to do? It's beautiful.
God bless him.
I swear to God, I'm telling you. And I never said anything. And then I told Mark maybe about 5 years later. He said, that's my father. That's
Absolutely.
how he was. That's okay. No,
Karen, I wanted to ask you,
Beautiful guy,
Ronnie,
beautiful guy.
you where'd you go? The Oliver? What grammar school did you
I
go?
went to Leonard's. Matter of fact, I just went by there last week, and I took pictures of the school. Because I'm
Leonard
gone.
School.
I'm gone.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, he's gone.
I took pictures of my 171 Union Street that going up the hill, and the problem is I got to watch out because I'm going to get shot because these guys that are all hanging out, they think I'm an undercover cop because I'm taking pictures, and I'm saying, you know what, I think I could get shot here. So I kind of like, bang, go.
I have a question for Karen.
Sure.
You guys, both of you, were talking about city steps. What were
Yeah.
the city steps?
The city steps were to the left of my dad's building.
Which street?
Many.
Where are we? What's
Newbury Street to South Union Street.
You know what?
No,
It's gone now.
Not South Union, Union Street.
Union Street.
Union, I'm
Right.
sorry. And there were big steps.
Yeah, yeah.
And it would be like a shortcut for people to go down to.
Yeah.
So quick, funny story.
From Newbury to Union.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That
was
Quick,
it.
funny story.
I don't remember it.
Ronnie and I are sledding in the wintertime. We started at the top of Newbury Street
Yep.
on our own flyers there. They didn't shovel the stairs, and we would go 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, me get it. The step.
Down the stairs, cross over
To Milford
Union
Street.
Street,
Right into-
all the way down.
And avoid getting run over by a car.
Who knew? Who cared? One time we
fearless.
heard this blood-curdling scream. It was my mother that saw us out the window. Yeah, we got in trouble. Quick story, though. There was a lot of perks living in that neighborhood
you kidding?
with my dad.
Oh.
Coming home from Holy Rosary one day, I was very young, 6, 7, 8. I didn't know what the firebox would do when you pulled
Jesus.
at the corner of Calderon's Pharmacy.
You
right?
pulled it.
Yeah.
I pulled it.
Fire trucks come. Everybody
Oh, my
knows your
God.
father.
Well, everybody.
Busty, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
my father comes out and he's looking because he thinks something's on fire. Then the fire guy said, "What did you do?" I said, "I just,
Pulled it.
So he said to my father, "Do you know this kid?" He says, "Yep." All right. So I never got hit.
See?
Never get hit. But I learned a valuable lesson. You don't pull that.
Really?
Then there was another time we were breaking windows in the big vacant building.
Across from my house?
No.
Oh.
On Union, on
was it
behind behind Mechanic Street.
Yeah, right there.
We were throwing
But it
with
was
the
all broke-
boys. Yeah.
I always thought there was a lady in there that I don't know.
Wait a minute. There were people living in the building?
No.
No,
Oh.
there was only one woman, which I think she was like a
Squatter.
squatter back then. Now she looked like a Polish woman. All right.
What do you
Wait,
got
wait, wait. What does a Polish woman look
I don't know.
like?
She didn't look Italian.
I don't know.
She didn't look like Italian.
She looked like a Polish
Listen,
woman.
Auntie Sophie is Polish.
She looks Polish. She don't look freaking Italian, all right? So we're breaking windows over there. I don't know if I gave her the name or somebody gave her the name. We used to call her, and she used to come out once in a while. We used to call her Pampalupa.
Yeah.
I don't know where it ever came
Well,
from.
the cops came.
Yeah.
Again.
But we never heard
And
anybody.
my father came again.
Yeah. You just-
Thank God.
We had a building across the street from my house. It was the old Murphy apartment building. And there was, when I was in 6th grade.
Where the parking lot was? Is?
Yeah, there was a big apartment building there, and there was a fire.
Yep.
And there was like 2 people living in there, so they got out of there. And my father cut a deal with Father Natali from Holy
Oh, my
Rosary.
gosh.
And my father bought because they condemned it. My father bought the property for $1.
Yeah.
And then donated it to the parish. But that building was there the whole summer before they demolished it.
Right.
And 8 of us, me, Wayne, my brother, Gary, we would be across the street We broke every window.
Do something about it.
Every window in that building.
Very
fun.
All right, listen,
very refreshing.
When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about Holy Rosary. I mean, that was a great experience for
Bless me, sister.
I think it was a good experience for you, too.
Oh, yeah.
All right? No, wasn't?
Yeah, I felt bad for the nuns, but yeah.
See, I felt bad for us because of the nuns.
No. I'll
We'll
explain.
talk about that. All right, we are with Karen and Ronnie. Mikey's in the house. Tommy's in the house. We'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today, Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries, serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State Inspection Station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back, and you're listening to the Sicilian, watching and listening to the Sicilian Corner, brought to us each week by some great sponsors, Mike.
We got a full house here.
Yeah, Ronnie Vallante, Karen Pittera, Beauty, and the Beast.
For sure.
Thank you.
The Beast.
Karen, let's talk about Holy Rosary. 400 Italian kids, maybe 398 Italian kids.
And 2 Polish.
Yeah, 2 Polish, and a crew of Irish nuns. That was the setting.
There was one Italian nun.
Yes.
Sister Victor Therese.
Therese.
3rd grade.
Now, we always thought, see, you and I differ, I think we differ in opinions here. We always thought that we could, pull the wool over their eyes. But in reality, we were never able to get away with anything. Now, do you disagree with that?
One day I walked home while we were still living on Newbury Street, walked the 2 blocks home, and my father would always be outside waiting for me to see me the last block.
Sure.
And my knuckles.
Oh.
Yeah. He said, "What happened?" I said, "Nothing, Dad, nothing." "What happened?" I said, "Well, blah, blah, blah." Well, my feet never hit the ground.
He brought you back.
He ran me back there. My father was...
You want to tell us who the nun was?
No.
What grade?
I was little, 3rd grade, 2nd
Oh,
grade.
wow,
Not
wow.
Sister Victor Therese. I loved her.
She was a sweetheart.
Yeah.
There was one that 3rd grade that was not nice. I think I know who you're talking about.
So he went to the convent across the street,
yeah.
and he very quickly said the story and who and what and Mother's, whatever her name was, Sister Superior. He said, "I'm telling you."
Well, which is, by the way, no parents did that.
My father didn't hit me, so why would anybody else be able to hit me?
Correct.
So I never got hit again. And he also said, none of her friends are to be hit. Nobody in the classroom is to be. Oh, he was violent when it came to violence.
Yeah.
So that's what I can say about
Central had a couple of cowboys like that.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. If I recall the story, you were tossed out of Central Catholic. You're the only guy I know that was in high school for 41 years. You got tossed out of Central because I believe that you got a little violent with one of the brothers there. Is there any truth to that?
I don't believe that.
How would you like to get whacked with a ruler because you don't know the answer to a question?
Exactly.
Well,
all right.
I'm not.
So I see it coming. This is my freshman year. This is where it started. The foundation was laid freshman. Sophomore year, it became Friday night boxing match. And I'm not proud of it, but I'm not.
Okay, so wait a second. So the guy comes after you, you clock him, he goes down.
No. Freshman year, he's asking questions. I had him half a year for civics, half a year for religion. He comes walking down the aisle. He'd ask you a question. If you already didn't know it, boom,
that's right.
Hit you with the ruler. So I see it coming. So I put my elbow up. He hits the crazy bone. The ruler splatters in about 80 different pieces.
Okay.
Well, you got 26 boys in a room laughing their butts off,
my gosh.
including me. So he says, "You think it's funny?" I says, "Yeah." "You come back here after class." So now I go and I sit there for 15 minutes waiting for him. I said, "Screw this, I'm out of here."
So you left.
So
now
I'm getting
he jumps bail.
No. So now I'm ready to leave. He comes and he shows up. He walks in, locks the door.
Really?
Whoa.
Walks around to the back, locks the door.
Are you kidding?
Reaches under his robe and pulls out an aluminum ruler. He says, tell me, big boy, you think you can break this one?
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
No.
This guy was
They were rough.
He was like
Yeah.
22 years old. He had just become a brother. I says, I hope I don't have
He
to
was
find out.
frustrated, no sex.
He says,
No, really. Would you finish the story?
Not you, him.
The story was getting
He
a
says,
little.
"Get out of
loved
my
for his
sight.
stores.
I don't
He
wanna
reached
see
under
you."
his robe, but
and
it got a
everything
little.
was cool after that because I told him, I says, I hope I don't have to find out. Because if he hit me
So
with-
he didn't hit you?
Never did. Sophomore year, different story. I have him for English.
Same guy?
Same guy.
So, quick anecdote talking about Holy Rosary.
Wait, let him finish.
He's done.
No, he hit the guy.
And did you go to jail?
No, but he got thrown out of Central Catholic.
Well,
And then he went to Lawrence High.
best thing ever happened to you.
That's
I
right.
think
I
you
like
got
Central.
a better education.
But not
in the
only that,
public
Mike,
school.
and she's right. You know why?
Tommy, I closed my eyes when I swung. How would you like to get kicked in the ass and go head first into the lockers?
You should have called my dad.
I should have, but I didn't know him.
But you going to Lawrence High, you getting tossed and going to Lawrence High was very beneficial to you
I
because
agree.
you became a football star.
I
Who
agree.
asked you?
No, you became all scholastic
You
in
don't
football.
have to ask an Italian. They
He
just
turned-
say.
He turned out all right.
He
Right.
turned out, Mike, you did. Let's be honest.
I didn't start off on the right foot, though.
But you became a first-team all-scholastic. That's all that counts.
I don't
Yeah,
think
in
you're allowed to
football.
call people that anymore.
But Jerry,
What's that? All
Scholastic.
Why is that? In football.
Oh my God, she's just like my daughter telling us what we can say, what we can't say. Oh my
That's
God.
her.
Trying to make it
Go back to
true.
Holy Rosary.
No, I just want to say one time Sarah Catalano, we were best buds, and Mary Ann Camuso. We were talking and whatever, and we got in trouble. And the sister, I don't remember, sent us home to do
she's got quite a mouth.
an essay. 300-word essay on why peaches have fuzz.
That's typical.
Now, Sarah goes to the store, you know.
Oh, good.
'Cause they don't
She owns a
shave.
market.
Yeah, and she's going crazy trying to figure out, and her father's laughing, and her uncle's, may I go home? My father said, well, what? I said, you're not going to do that. Back to the convent. Listen, if she was doing something wrong, I agree. You can verbally but she's not going to learn anything
No,
by
see, I mean,
300-word peaches have fuzz.
You're lucky you didn't get thrown out of there.
My father paid for tuition for several people, just like St. Mary's.
You told me that. That's right. You told me that.
So-
Wonderful. Good for him.
Tell me,
Well,
I got-
they were afraid of him because he would have pulled the kids.
Right.
I was at Holy Rosary for a year.
I did not know that.
One or 2 years.
What happened?
What happened? I was going to the Leonard School. I think I was in the second grade. right?
We lived across the street from you when I was a baby.
Way back. Yeah. they
Yeah.
lived-
You got
my
tossed?
grandfather. Yeah. You know why? Because we're in the schoolyard. It's in the wintertime. I'm throwing snowballs. I hit a kid in the face, in the eye, right? Boom, they threw me out. It's like, and I had a, you know.
See, I had a great. I honestly, I
But
had a
the-
great
the-
experience at Holy
But
Rosary.
they were crazy. They were crazy.
Did any of you go to the Venerinis?
I did.
Oh my God, Sister Pauline!
The
and
best.
The soup. Oh, funny story about the Venerinis.
Never went.
2 weeks I was there.
You got thrown out.
Sister Pauline
I
was a
didn't like it.
personal friend of the family.
Very nice lady.
Loved her.
My wife, Lucille, loved her.
Loved her. You never could play in the front or roll the ball, down the front because
Yeah.
it was a busy
It was a hill.
street.
It was a hill.
So me and my cousin Vinny, everybody has a cousin Vinny. He was the same age as me, but he couldn't tie his shoes at 3 years old. So we threw the ball down. We got in trouble. Sister Pauline went crazy. She got 2 buckets, turned them upside down, made us sit on them, and tied us around the tree in the front. I kid you not. Because we did something stupid.
Corporal punishment was
No,
was
we loved
vogue
her.
in
She
vo-
was
no,
at
she
our
was
house
very-
for dinner all
she
the
was
time,
very
but
nice.
she was worried that we were going to do something stupid. So then she called my father. Oh boy, yeah, he was really upset.
Were the nuns at the Venerinis the same as what was
No, they were sisters of the Venerini.
Yeah,
They were two
They were
different.
lovely.
The nuns at Holy Rosary were sisters of the Notre Dame.
just like at high school.
At St. Mary's, right? Ronnie, I wanted to ask you about now from the boys' perspective. We had a couple of great pool rooms that we used to hang around, Finno's and Charlie's on Union Street. Tony Fiorino and I, we used to. My father used to say, "I never want to catch you there." Dad, we wouldn't even go there. It got to the point when Tony and I would go in there, like on a summer afternoon, Charlie would give us the aprons and say, I'm going to take off for a couple of hours, keep house. So we'd give out the change and stuff.
Well, I went, like you said, you weren't supposed to be there.
Right.
And I'll tell you another quick story after that one.
Nothing's quick with
Went
him.
to Charlie's, right? Me, Ernie Rossi, Leo Breton.
Oh, Ernie.
I think Dom Nicosia was with us. And so we're in there. And we're just waiting. Because sometimes you had to wait. A lot of times you had to wait.
Sure.
And I'm there like a freaking hour. I'm saying, man, this is crazy. And all of a sudden, I'm not feeling good. And I'm saying, man, I don't feel good.
It wasn't because of the smoke.
No, he was pregnant.
No, really, so I'm sitting there and I'm saying, man, I said, you know what, guys, I'm going home. I don't feel good. I feel cold and everything. I go home, right? Go right down the street. Now, back then, they had the grates in the floor.
Sure.
Where the heat would come up.
Sure.
So my grandma says, what's the matter? I said, I don't feel good, right? So anyways,
have some chicken soup.
I'm getting cold. I'm this. And so now what happens? Now they start with that's why half of us are brain dead.
Oh, the oil?
Not half of us.
No.
Just half?
No. She gets the what do you call it? The alcohol, right?
Oh yeah, starts rubbing you with it.
And then heats it up and everything, right?
They're cooling you down.
They put the alcohol, then they put the
Vicks.
Vicks
vapor.
Then they stick it up your nose, right? So that's why we're half brain dead, really. Well, come to find out, I just could not get warm. Well, needless to say, the next day, that was a Saturday, Sunday morning.
You're in the hospital.
I'm like in the hospital.
Is that
What happened?
I didn't even. I passed out. It was a Sunday morning.
He's
I passed
lucky
out.
to be here.
It was my. I had spinal meningitis.
You're kidding me.
No.
Did you really?
Did you get it from the pool room?
I guess because I was in the hospital for like 7 days, and I had to. I was unconscious for the 7 days. I was in a coma for 7 days.
Oh my God!
And when I come out, I didn't know who my mother, my father was. I had to learn a lot of stuff over. And then I used to have to go for, we called them brainwave tests back then.
They didn't work.
Did you ever have?
Didn't work. But what happened
You're
was
lucky.
those guys had to go and get a shot.
Sure.
Because they were with
Probably the whole pool room.
Yeah, the whole.
This was the first time I ever saw my father cry because of
him.
Yeah. I was like 12.
Did you ever have?
Younger than that.
Did any of you two ever have the Molucci ritual?
No.
I'm at Holy Rosary. I'm in fifth grade. We're having a test. So I said, I can't do this. I don't want to go to school. So I tell my mother and father, my stomach is killing me. Right? I'm like bent over. 2 days. I figured it was Thursday. I can get Thursday
Long
and Friday
weekend.
off, a long weekend. I'm home free. Right. Friday afternoon.
Feeling better.
My father knows what's going on.
Of course.
So my grandmother says, she comes up with an idea.
Yeah.
Let's take him to Danafia on Common Street. He's got the Moluccas in him,
Yep.
right? The evil spirit.
I know.
My mother, I looked at my father, Dad, I'm fine. Oh, no, you're going to have to go. So my mother, my father, my grandfather, and my grandmother, they put me in the car and they take me to this woman's apartment on Common Street. She's about 90. She puts me on the bed, right? Rubs the olive oil on my stomach, lights some candles.
Did she have any hair growing out of a mold?
Oh, she starts praying. She's got the.
You have to. That's the only.
Mikey, she's got the prayer book. My grandmother and my mother are on their knees saying the rosary.
Yeah.
Right? She's doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she says to me, "How are you feeling?" I said, "Great. I feel wonderful. I'm better." Took me out of here. My father takes me aside. He says to me, I'll never forget this. He says to me, "Listen, I appreciate you doing this for your mother and your grandmother." He says, "I know there was nothing wrong." And he took me, I'll never forget this, he took me to, what was the model airplane's place on Park Street? Modeler's Haven?
Modeler's.
Model Haven.
And bought me a model airplane.
Wow.
For being bad.
Tommy, we have a lot to cover, but
Yeah.
we're going to have to take a break.
All right,
okay?
we're going to take a break. We come back, last segment, Ronnie and Karen are in the house. Hang in there. We'll
I
be
want
right
to know
back.
about movies. What movie houses do you
Oh,
got?
Central Theater.
You know how many hickeys I got in the Central
Central Theater.
You have any idea how many hickeys I got?
You know what the premiere?
And gave?
How many? Gamas. Let's talk about it
we'll be
later.
right
You know
back.
what a tease
This
is?
is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Okay, we are back and we are chatting with Karen and Ronnie, Mikey Boy, and myself, Sicilian Corner, on every platform you can imagine, Mikey. Every platform.
Plus others.
I just found out we're on ESPN, too.
Yeah?
Oh, it's amazing.
Tommy,
Yes.
is this like the World Wide Web? Is this like going worldwide?
Ronnie, can I tell you something, please?
I mean, is Putin watching this? Who's watching?
Can I ask you a question?
I just wonder. That's why I
when
got
it
the white
comes
shirt
to
on.
when it comes to electronics,
Yeah.
when it comes to anything regarding the internet,
technology. Yeah,
all right, you're in the late 50s. You're in the late 50s.
Yes.
It's nice, though, eh?
Something like that.
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about the movie theaters. Right around the corner from my house was the Central Theater, Val Jean.
Yeah.
Remember those ice creams? They were flat.
10 cents.
The paper, you used to pull the paper
Yeah,
off
yeah,
them.
yeah. Were they
Vanilla-
only
right,
10
Mikey?
cents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 cents.
10 cents.
Yeah.
Don't question me.
That was the first time.
Don't question me. 'Cause I got it all up here.
First time I ever kissed a girl was in the Central Theater. Phyllis Rignoli. Phyllis, if you're
Well,
watching.
Phyllis, I was good friends with Phil. Still am.
Phyllis was the first girl I
And
ever kissed.
Gino. Oh, and I love
Gino's
her
a great
mother.
girl.
I love her
Did I
mother.
tell you the time I went to the one at the, no, it was the Palace on Broadway, right? Me and my buddy Leo Breton, we go in there, we're trying to meet girls. We're like 10, 12 years old. Here I am. So, you go like this, you say...
He hooks up with a 19-year-old.
No, you sit with this girl, right? And all of a sudden, you kind of put your arm around her. She doesn't do anything, right? Now you try to start to make out with her. Mean girl, all of a sudden, she's got freaking braces on. I'm saying, this isn't going to happen. I said, I got to go to the bathroom. I took off.
Never came back.
Went back. And then I saw her outside. She says, where'd you go? I said, I don't know. I couldn't find you anymore. But a girl with braces? What, are you kidding me?
Did you used to go to the Central?
No.
Yeah.
Right?
Every
Central?
week.
Yeah.
Me, him, Joey Ruggieri, and Lorraine.
I mean, that's where we saw The Godfather, no?
No, that was not
at the
till
Central.
70
God,
something.
74.
No, you're
70.
crazy. That was at the Showcase Cinemas.
Yeah, of
That was
course.
at
I didn't go to
Showcase
I
Cinema.
saw it at the Central.
But
I took Lucille's mother, right? I took Lucille.
where?
I took
To
the
the
cinema.
Central?
To the cinema to go see The
Showcase.
Godfather.
Oh, okay.
So Sonny at a wedding is got the bridesmaid standing up,
Right.
and he's playing bumper cars.
Correct.
Zena looks at me, she taps me, and she goes, "Kisacho."
You know, I saw The Godfather in Quebec.
For the first time?
Did you really?
All French subtitles.
Oh, good.
What was I thinking?
Well, my favorite theater,
The Warner.
was the Warner. I love
Yeah.
the Warner.
Great. That was a great theater.
They showed.
Well, that was about 3 steps up from the Central.
Well, it was about 18 steps up from the Premier. The Premier, if you
I
just
don't
wanted to
remember
get
that
down and dirty.
Well, your feet used to stick to the
Premier.
floor at
Not
the
only
premiere.
that, it was so dark when you hustled somebody, you didn't know if it was a guy or a girl.
Oh, I had braces.
That's right. You know, I'll tell you what movie Wayne Peters and I saw for the first time. I don't know how Val Jean pulled it off, but he was the first one to bring in A Hard Day's Night, the Beatles movie, at
Really?
the Central. He got it before all the other big theaters.
Wow.
And I'll never forget the line was down the street, around the corner where Eddie's was, heading towards Jackson Bolidro.
Well, he probably, he had, being a musician, he was very well known.
Speaking of which, how many pizza joints were there in our neighborhood? Think about it.
Napoli's, Tripoli's,
Stramondo's.
Stramondo's.
S&M on Essex Street.
S&M, Jackson Pizza,
Pizza.
Ralph
Yeah.
Borghini's, right?
Yeah,
What else?
Lots of pizza.
I mean, it was unbelievable. But
Pizza
we used
King.
to pizza. No, when he was.
But he was he was in South Lawrence.
But
South
we used to
Lawrence.
go. You know, what we used to do. Myself, Dave Del Vicario, Wayne. We'd go to Jackson Pizza maybe once a month during the summer, and we'd have tripe. He used to make tripe on Saturday afternoons.
Love it,
Honest
love
to
it,
God.
love it.
Mike, you
Do
don't
you
like
really?
tripe?
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't
my
like the
father made
texture.
it. I loved it.
My father-in-law made it too, and Lucille would eat so much, or she'd have sauce dripping down
Oh,
the
I
bread.
loved it.
But to me,
The only Italian food I cannot eat, I can't even look at it, is
Big Sweet.
Zuzu.
Zuzu's tough.
Zuzu is
Zuzu's tough, but I'll eat it.
It's
like an
eating
Italian jelly.
It's like eating
Jello.
a jelly.
Yeah,
That's right.
but it's got some
lemon.
suspect stuff in it.
Yeah. If you want a heart attack, you can.
It's
And
all
scatchada. I love
gelatin.
my
That's all it
scatchada.
is.
Yeah, it is. It's.
They boil this.
All right,
They boil that.
All right, so let's talk about the highlight of the year in the neighborhood, the Feast of the Three Saints.
Feast, of
I mean,
course.
I know, obviously Mike and I and Ronnie were a big part of the feast over the last 30, 35 years. But do you remember how it was when we were living in that neighborhood?
Yeah.
Can't
And
even
it was
imagine.
feast time. I mean, you lived right on Newbury Street. Do you remember Sunday mornings when
You could hear it.
right? You could hear them at the church.
It was awesome.
Getting louder and louder and louder as they were coming towards your house,
Yep.
right?
It was like Christmas.
It was like we used to get so excited. I hear the band. Down in front of the church. And then they'd come up Union Street.
You'll never forget it.
Never forget it.
no.
We
And
used to
you-
run to the corner, sometimes in our pajamas,
Oh, I bet.
and watch the band go by, right?
We would be, of course, we went home to sleep, but our parents let us, for 3 days.
We had the run of
And
the
we'd
neighborhood.
come home, you could never do that.
I mean, we were in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade.
We were very young.
And my
Very
parents-
young.
But the feast back then was 2 days, right? It was never
Yes,
Friday.
it was,
night.
it was
it was 2 days.
Saturday and
But
Sunday.
the difference was too that.
The families live right there.
Yeah, but
You
also-
wanted to eat,
Everybody
you
would watch
go
us.
up the
Right,
house.
but also, today, and unfortunately, the way people dress today.
Well, it's different.
we remember what we used to do when we went to the feast.
You
We
get
were
dressed
wearing
up.
the clothes that we were going to wear to school because we
Absolutely.
had to
Or
wear
church.
nice clothes or
Absolutely.
suit coat and tie or whatever.
I was talking,
unbelievable.
Mike and I, a couple of weeks ago, we had Dom Struzzulo on from the Fisherman's Feast as a guest. And we were talking about that, Ronnie, how things have changed.
Too much.
And not only have things changed, but there's some real concern about the future of all these feasts.
Yes.
Real concern because the generation behind us is pretty good.
Yeah.
But the generations
Yeah.
behind that generations have no interest at all. And the numbers are dwindling with new memberships, So we don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see, you know.
Sandolfio's is the biggest as far as numbers.
Absolutely.
Right.
Which is, because of members, their sons, and, we got 3 generations some places.
Saturday night, obviously, because where I live, our house was Feast Central. So my mother always had all my relatives, extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins. She always started about 4 o'clock on Saturday. She'd have a big spread. A big spread. Yeah. Oh, obviously, Crispelli's,
that's beautiful.
rice balls, antipasto, and people would be coming in, pastry in and out all night.
I cried when Peter shut his shop.
I know. Yeah.
I think you all know this. I don't know if Mike does. When Peter closed, I went there, bought some Crispelli's.
Yeah.
And the anchovy, the ricotta, and the rice balls.
You shellacked them.
I shellacked them.
I know.
The shellac won't take on the rice ball. I got them. I got them over there.
You see why
He shellacked them. He shellacked them.
Now I also have.
Imagine that.
No, I have. The bread when Pappy's closed.
He shellacked
You
it.
shellacked it.
I bought 3 of those breads like this. We ate one. I froze one, and I shellacked the other one. I still got it. I got cookies from
Fizzicelli's.
Fizzicelli's. As a matter of fact, Ray was over the house probably about 6 months ago. And I have them on the table, right?
But they
shellacked them all. Yeah,
but they still have the cookies. Why did you shellac them?
Because, just in case. God
Oh my
forbid.
God!
Ray was going to have a cookie. I says, no, what are you doing, right? Because you went to grass. He says,
Break his
what are you
teeth.
doing? I says, those are shellac.
All right, I've had enough of him.
But
It's your cousin.
I know.
I can't let go. I can't let
Don't
go.
tell anybody.
Mikey, when you were a kid, did you go to the feast?
Yeah. Usually just to pick up chicks. I mean, that was about the extent of it.
Honestly, Mike, I tell you something. I really lived it like a sheltered life in a sense. I thought the whole city, man, was there.
Yeah.
Everybody. It was like shut down, and everybody was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't. Because,
See, the feast in my family, it was like a non-event.
Right.
Because they weren't accustomed.
And you were not a member of the parish.
And
They
you didn't
were.
go to that
At Holy Rosary?
Yeah, my mother
you
and
go to
father
that
belonged.
school?
They didn't go to St. Michael's.
I
It was
did not
Holy
realize
Rosary.
that. Okay.
But my Nonna Messina lived on Garden Street. So, for her,
It was a big event.
So that's why we'd always be there, to support.
Very
but,
interesting.
I mean, we'd always break off and, try and get in mischief and have a good time.
Well,
and make
obviously,
sure we eat.
We had the horses there years ago.
Big
and
part of my
horse
life.
rides.
Big part of my
It was
life.
Like it was great. It was great.
And it was funny because
it still is.
It was
Tradition's a wonderful thing, and it bothers me that some people try to eradicate it.
I agree.
You learn from history.
I agree. Totally agree, Mikey. It's called CIT.
Right.
That's right.
That's what it's called.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
It's
And I
very
agree.
sad that
It
it's
is.
not the
But I'll
same.
tell you something. I'm 70 years old, running with the same age, and I have not. The first 2 years, I did. Well, 1 year. Last year was the first time I missed a feast.
Yeah.
In my entire life because of the COVID
Right.
stuff.
Right.
I haven't gone
Yeah. Well, you.
because I didn't go the year my father died.
Right.
Because I just knew people
Yeah.
would. I couldn't deal with it. And then there was the COVID and the COVID.
Are you going to
But
be there this year?
Of course.
Good. Good. You have to be.
Of course.
And we have some great things planned. By the way, for our viewers and listeners, the week after next, we're going to be doing a feast show. We've got, I think Tony Palmazzaro is going to come in with Wayne.
Good.
We'll talk about the feast and what it means to the Merrimack Valley here, and tie it all in together with the other feasts. And
Tony's is doing a fantastic
Tony's done a
job as
great
president.
job.
He really
Yeah.
is.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work and time. It's not like
people don't realize.
Right. Tom, years ago when I first joined, I joined.
You were part
I
of the
remember
lights,
like
weren't
79.
You? Right.
I've been there like 40 years. And for the 75th, we started making those lights years ago, not the ones that are up there now.
Yeah.
And it was just like unbelievable. But the old timers, you couldn't talk. You know that. You couldn't talk. You could say, sit down, shut up.
Absolutely.
That's how it was.
Start this year.
It was like unbelievable.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
But you just sat there. But it was great. But you could do the whole feast with like about 2 or 3 meetings.
Yep.
Now, as soon as the feast is over, you gotta get
it's
started.
become right.
I mean,
It's all year.
Look at the planning that's going on for the 100th feast
Yeah,
already.
it's become
Yes, it's
a huge.
Hard to believe, huh? 100 years?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Amazing. I have a video of him and all the other Gumbatis trying to put up a tent.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
I filmed it.
Yeah, I have
I'm the one that filmed. That's hysterical.
We couldn't
Hysterical.
do it, man. Yeah, that was.
And he screamed. They're all screaming. Nobody knows anything.
You know, I was standing over smoking a cigar, and all of a sudden, I just kind of watched these guys.
It was
I
an
said, I gotta
opportunity.
get this.
It was an opportunity.
I walk over there with my phone, and I filmed it. It was absolutely hysterical.
But you know the thing you missed?
20 guys trying to put up a 10-foot pole. Just ridiculous. We got about 2 minutes.
Is a sleepover on Friday
Nah,
night.
forget it.
yeah, they
I'm going to go
sleep
real quick with this, okay? Because I said, and like I said, I don't like to let things go by the wayside. So I said, matter of fact, I approached Pappy's Bakery. I said, listen, I want to sleep upstairs. We got a couple of guys. You can't do that. She says, no, because it's all flour and stuff up there. I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter. So then I says, you know what? We're going to sleep there. And we did. There was me, Ray,
now it's
Messina,
a tradition.
Doobie, everybody. Now it's become a tradition since the old building because we were losing the old building.
All right, listen, we're just about out of time. I love you guys. You guys know what you mean to us, all of us.
Yes.
It's good talking about the old neighborhood.
All of us?
Well, you know, it's a good point. Sometimes I like it. I love his wife. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's
no question.
St. Elsie.
Actually, I'll be married 50 years.
Oh, Elsie, I
Elsie,
pray
baby.
for her all the time.
we call
August
her
26th.
We call her Saint Elsie. That's her name.
And
Saint
she's
Elsie.
Italian now after all these
gosh,
years.
she's
When
more
you had
Italian
the
than Polish.
sleepover one night, she came up at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, to bring you a teddy bear or something?
No.
What was that?
Come on, we got to
What
go,
was that?
Mikey.
I don't know.
All right, listen, thanks for helping us out today, you guys. We love you. Our viewers and listeners, 2 weeks we'll have the feast, kind of like a feast show. Talk about our feast, talk about some of the other feasts in the North End. With that being said, remember, if you can't make fun of yourself, please don't make fun of anyone.
Have a good weekend,
Have
everybody.
a great week.
Ciao.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.